With the new Blade movie coming out next year, I thought it would be a great time to revisit the original hit. So here we go. Welcome to my review of the original 1998 Blade movie, kicking off my Blade review series. I first caught Blade back in '98 and missed it in theaters, but ended up renting it. It was a breath of fresh air, mixing vampires, martial arts, action, and some neat twists on the lore. Interestingly, Blade has gained more attention in recent years, partly thanks to Black Panther. The excitement around Black Panther sparked conversations about representation, and as horror fans, we couldn't help but notice the significance of Blade as one of Marvel's first black lead characters. Something I had never even thought about. The reason I've often cited why Blade doesn't receive the recognition it deserves, despite pioneering aspects attributed to other films, is that many people, including myself, didn't initially perceive it as a typical comic book adaptation. I only realized Blade's origins in comics after encountering Marvel lore on television. Amidst ongoing efforts to acknowledge the film's significance, coupled with the prolonged development struggles of the MCU's Blade reboot, the original Blade remains as impactful today as it was upon its explosive debut in 1998. Wesley Snipes' Blade is hands down the ultimate embodiment of cinematic coolness, surpassing all contenders for the title of coolest movie character. While there are certainly other iconic characters like Die Hard's John McClane and The Terminator, Blade outshines them all. Whenever I watch those films, I find myself wanting to be Blade. From his signature shades to the way he silently declares impending doom with a mere glance, there's no better mic drop moment in action cinema. Beyond his physicality and martial arts mastery, Snipes injects Blade with a personality that's both nuanced and captivating. Whether it's his subtle nods of victory or moments of humor, Snipes brings an authenticity to the character that goes beyond what's on the page. His commitment to the role, even staying in character during interviews, further cements his place as the perfect choice for Blade. In the pantheon of perfectly cast characters, Blade and Snipes' portrayals are unmatched, which is why many of us fans are apprehensive about the upcoming reboot. We fear losing the essence of what made Snipes' Blade so iconic, especially with the potential tonal shifts and Marvel's influence looming over the project. Mahershala Ali is an exceptional actor and certainly embodies the look of the character, but he's not Wesley Snipes. Snipes brought a unique charisma and depth to Blade that's hard to replicate. It takes a special kind of performance and dedication, along with a profound understanding of the character, to become synonymous with a role, and Snipes achieved that effortlessly. Shifting focus, one aspect I particularly admire about this film is its rich world building. While it could have easily relied on typical vampire tropes and action sequences, it goes above and beyond. Even before The Matrix, it set itself apart with its visual style and dynamic action scenes. But what truly sets it apart is its exploration of vampire society. It challenges and redefines traditional vampire lore, introducing concepts like familiars and delving into the intricate hierarchy and bureaucracy among vampires. Amidst the adrenaline-pumping action, there's a fascinating exploration of this hidden vampire world. Furthermore, the character of Karen, a seemingly innocent human woman, is integrated into the story compellingly, adding depth and complexity to the narrative. The hematologist who was initially bitten serves as our window into this fantastical world. Through her journey, we are immersed in Blade's realm, learning alongside her about the hidden truths of vampires and their society. Despite her pivotal role as an audience surrogate, she remains a fully realized character, integral to the story's progression. Turning to the supporting cast, Chris Christopherson's portrayal of Whistler is particularly noteworthy. His rugged exterior and genuine paternal relationship with Blade add layers to their dynamic. And of course, it doesn't hurt that he is one of my favorite actors either. Their symbiotic bond, rooted in mutual dependence and affection, enriches the narrative. Regarding the action sequences, While they may not match the intensity of contemporary films like the Bourne series or John Wick, they still hold up remarkably well, maintaining their impact and excitement. Hi movie buffs, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, share, and bell button. It's free and it really helps. You'll be notified of each new recap. Looking at Blade as a 1998 action film, its action sequences are still impressive. Wesley Snipes' involvement in the stunts and choreography, often captured in camera, adds authenticity to the fight scenes. While there are moments of stylized editing, the martial arts choreography feels genuine, allowing viewers to feel the impact of each blow and reinforcing Blade's formidable presence. Snipes' martial arts background shines through, enhancing the character's portrayal and making him feel like an unstoppable force. Regarding criticisms of the film's storyline, particularly in negative reviews, I respectfully disagree. When viewed as a comic book adaptation, Blade offers a classic superhero journey. From the outset, Blade's quest to rid himself of vampirism and his struggle with the thirst form a compelling narrative arc. His evolution throughout the film, marked by battles against Deacon Frost, the loss of Whistler, and the salvation of Karen, leads to a powerful realization of his purpose. Rejecting Karen's cure, Blade embraces his dual nature, using it to fight for a greater cause. While such a plot may seem cliché by today's standards, in 1998, it brought a fresh perspective to superhero storytelling. Turning to the mixed aspects, Deacon Frost as the antagonist has both strengths and weaknesses. On the negative side, his motivation, a desire for ultimate power, feels somewhat predictable and lacks depth. His rebellious nature against vampire society's norms feels uninspired compared to other villainous portrayals. However, Stephen Dorff's performance adds depth to Frost's character. His energy and charisma elevate Frost beyond a typical villain, making him more compelling despite his thin motivations. Reviewing Blade through the lens of modern filmmaking presents a conundrum. While its status as a beloved classic is undeniable, certain aspects of the film may not hold up well under contemporary scrutiny. However, as someone who has held a deep affection for Blade since its release in 1998, I find it challenging to divorce myself from the nostalgia, bias, and sheer love I have for the film. Nevertheless, it's crucial to objectively examine the film's strengths and weaknesses. One of the most glaring issues that stands out upon rewatching Blade is the outdated CGI. While it may not have been as noticeable or detrimental to the viewing experience in the late 90s and early 2000s, technological advancements have rendered the CGI effects less impressive by today's standards. Particularly when compared to more recent films, the CGI in Blade can feel somewhat jarring and detract from the immersion in certain scenes. Beyond the CGI, there are a few minor nitpicks that caught my attention during this revisit. For instance, there's a moment in the film where the editing seems slightly off, with characters inexplicably swapping positions in an elevator scene. While this may seem like a minor detail, it's indicative of the film's occasional lapses in editing coherence. Additionally, the concept of vampires using sunscreen to walk in daylight struck me as somewhat implausible and underdeveloped. While it's an intriguing idea in theory, the execution leaves something to be desired, and the rationale behind it feels somewhat flimsy upon closer examination. Furthermore, one narrative aspect that left me puzzled was the lack of decisive action against Deacon Frost by the vampire elites. Despite Frost's blatant disregard for vampire hierarchy and tradition, as evidenced by his actions throughout the film, the lack of repercussions from the vampire elite seems somewhat unrealistic. One would expect that such blatant insubordination would be met with swift and severe consequences, yet Frost continues to operate with impunity throughout much of the film. Despite these criticisms, Blade remains a film that I hold in high regard and cherish as a personal favorite. Its status as a quintessential vampire and action film is well-deserved, and its impact on popular culture cannot be understated. Blade's gritty atmosphere, stylish visuals, and iconic portrayal of the titular character by Wesley Snipes ensure its enduring legacy in the annals of cinema history. In conclusion, while Blade may have its flaws and shortcomings, its strengths far outweigh its weaknesses. It's a film that continues to captivate audiences with its unique blend of action, horror, and comic book elements. If you haven't experienced Blade yet, I highly recommend giving it a watch. It's a cinematic journey that's not to be missed. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe.